Hello, 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 and welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you're joining me here today. When you come on, say hello, hello, hello. That is our Workouts for Older Men live greeting. If you're new here, let me know. We've got a lot of new men who are coming into our circles. Let me know if you're watching me live on Facebook at Skip LaCour page or on my YouTube channel at Skip LaCour. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer any questions that you have. You may have questions about doing the 75 hard challenge. You see a lot of my workouts. Tell me what you want to see. You want to see more about my diet, the specifics of my training, anything else I've got going on, anything you've learned about me during this 75 hard challenge from the videos I've posted, and you want to see more, we could talk about that. We could talk about training, nutrition, whatever it takes for you to reach your goals now that you're a little bit older, or any questions that you might have. You might have watch them come up in the comment section and you want a little bit of follow-up, or maybe of something I've said. Hello, Robin. Hello, hello, hello. Robin watching on Facebook. All right, guys. So this is the time I want to make available to you. I know I've taken, it seems like about a month off from my live videos, really working with the one-on-one guys and putting a lot of attention on my kids' sports. Here with camps and starting a football, and we got basketball starting, and I'm going to be doing some coaching there, so putting a lot of attention there. But now I'm going to be coming back to you often, so let me know what social media platform you are watching me from. Make sure you visit skiplacour.com, my website. Hopefully you've been there. Make sure you're on my email list, so everything that I pump out that's new or certainly new to you, you'll make sure that you get it. Pete, hello, hello, hello. Great to have you here, Pete. Thanks for being here, sir. All right. So again, let me know if you're watching me on Facebook or on YouTube. Again, I'm just here to hang out with you. Have any questions? And I know that it's the first time I'm jumping on. It seems like weeks. So maybe it's just going to be just me and you. So you have this time where I can definitely answer your question. Watching you on Facebook. Awesome, Pete. Robin said, love watching this stuff with your kids. Well, thank you so much. It's interesting because, as you can tell, I'm really, really passionate about their development through sports, because that's personal development to me. I talk about that a lot. And in the walks, something that I'm thankful for this 75 hard challenge that it got us in this habits, time to connect, talk about, life. So we have a lot of fun with that process and doing that every single day. But on the social media platforms, fitness influencers or experts offering you fitness information. One thing about that I say consistent with the basics that work. And in this fitness world, they just keep on piling on the information and this new strategy or this new way. A lot of times these guys are doing stuff that they think is new that we used to do 20 years ago. They just don't know it because they weren't born or they were 5 years old at the time, right? And one thing that I always want to do is I want to keep you focused on the basics that work, all right, so you can be effective and efficient with your time and not get you confused on the priorities, the value of everything that you do, because you may be doing the new exciting things and not putting enough attention on the basics, overcomplicating the process, confusing you, and not putting the right amount of energy into the right thing. So then I just hit the basic, pound them, pound them, pound them. And, if I stay consistent to that and, got to make sure I don't get bored, because that's what you need. And again, that's, my message. I'm saying, it seems like I'm saying the same things over and over again, right? And maybe you've heard it. Maybe it's the next time you hear it, you'll get it at a deeper level. So with that being said, a lot of these fitness influencers, you can tell they're kind of bored. I can understand why. So they go into the details of training, things that don't matter, and they make it sound new and exciting, like it's something you must do. And maybe that's why you're not losing that body fat or building that muscle. Or they're, I don't know, talking about politics or whatever it is they're talking about, other influencers, because it gets boring. It's boring for them, right? And so, but you do need those type of things to make it interesting. So it's just not all the meat and potatoes all the time. So I'm passionate about my kids. I'm passionate about their development and sharing that with you. And so I can keep that enthusiasm out with something besides training. And so I love it that you find interest in that, Robin. So thank you so much. Tara Dom is watching on YouTube. Thank you for being here, sir. Pete says, read a bunch of your past articles on bodybuilding.com today. Going to switch up my training routine. Looked into a master's bodybuilding show around the first of the year. Well, a lot of my older stuff, Pete, it's definitely the hardcore bodybuilding, those who are competing. So you'll find a lot of value there. Let me know if you have any questions. Robin says, probably talked about this by how much stretching do you do, and do you stretch before or during after your workout? Stretching is a must for me. You know, I think the more stretching you do, the better. All right. Now, with that being said, I don't do a whole lot of stretching. Probably should do a lot more. I don't necessarily believe that it will help you build muscle if you do it. And if you don't do it, it'll prevent you from building muscle. I just think it's a good, healthy thing to do. All right. Especially if you use your body a lot of activities. I mean, it's just how much you want to invest into it. As a bodybuilder, I didn't, maybe I stretched out of muscle, just get it functional for my weight training. But with bodybuilding, what I did, you don't have to be athletic. All right. So being more athletic, I do a lot more stretching now. I do my stretching with my kids, but probably not nearly as much as I should do, or as how ambitious I am to keep on using this body. Going to be turning 60 here in a couple of days. Josh, hello. Is more frequent weight training affecting your size and strength? I don't think it's affecting my size. And the thing is, you can do less frequent training and more intensity, right? Because you can repair a lot easier, be stronger for the next time, or you can do more volume, do more frequency, and whether you believe it or not, the intensity is going to be lessened, right? I'm still working to train heavy, even though how I broke in the body part. There's a little bit of weight training almost every single day during this 75 hard challenge. So, I don't know. I haven't even asked myself the question, am I as strong? I don't even try to be as strong lifting so frequently. Hit the muscle, maybe slow it down. All right. I've got plenty of size. I mean, at 60 years old, I have plenty of size. I want to be more functional. A lot of weight, a little bit of weight. That's all relative. But you see the weights that I'm actually lifting when you see all those. It's not as much, but again, there's a lot of ways getting from point A to point B. The way that I chose to do it most time is not training so frequently. And again, I'm doing this. It's more of a mental challenge, the 75 hard challenge. No one needs to work out twice a day to get the body that they want, and they won't necessarily get it faster training twice a day. Again, it's more of a mental toughness challenge. All right. So I'm not gaining more size here at 60, and I'm not gaining more strength. I haven't tested my strength. So no is the answer, I guess. Right. Hello, Mark. Great to have you here, sir. Hope you're doing well. Peter, how much intensity is too much? Is time between sets important if it's intense? Well, let's talk about time between sets. A type of training that is overload training. It's to get as close to 100% of your strength back to hit that next set, all out intensity, right? Get the most out of every set. So rushing from set to set, I guess that's maybe more like football. I don't know, like a performance sport you would benefit by hurrying from set to set, having less time in between sets. If that's what you like, that type of training, or you're preparing for some athletic event, I can see the benefits there. As far as burning more body fat because there's less respite in between, a lot of guys talk about heart rate. I think that to burn body fat is a bad strategy. I think you're compromising your overload and the weight that you can lift. So I would say to rest as long as it takes to get close to 100% of your strength back without losing your focus, your tempo, your rhythm, right? You don't want to get distracted. And a lot of times that's 2 to 3 minutes. Some exercise may be less. They don't take all the setup. Legs, for example, squats, a heavy leg press might take more time, and I'm than like a tricep push downs. Right, it's really simple. Love that exercise. You can load it up, just go right into it. It's not it doesn't take a lot of emotional energy to be safe. All right, because it's pretty simple. And you can go with a minute rest. Right, so whatever it takes to get as close to 100% of your strength back, because overload, one more rep, 5 more pounds, better form, fill, and execution. Progressive overload is what maximizes your muscle gains, and that is the purpose of weight training more than anything else. So, um, let's see here. How much intensity is too much intensity? Well, that's someone's going to have to feel. I think that's a mental process. I don't really know, too many people that so my question would be, hey, why would you ask that question? Is that something you're worried about, or is that something you think you're experiencing? Because most people don't train with too much intensity. You're welcome, Josh. You once said that overload is important for older men. Can you explain that? Well, for everybody, overload means that you're taxing yourself, right? There's a lot of men just getting a routine and feeling certain with it. I don't know, whatever the exercise is. I don't know, so dumbbell curls, and they use 25 pounds. And then, okay, I'm certain with this routine, can do 25 pounds comfortably, can use good form. I'm doing about whatever my number of reps. I do this exercise. And it takes a lot of certainty if they're rather new or they don't understand all the nuance of training. And so they do that. And they're going to get gains and they're going to enjoy the workout. They're going to feel certain. But there's a lot of men who are doing that same routine, the same weight, same reps. And because they don't understand, they got to ask for more. They got to, if they want to stimulate more muscle growth, there's got to be a reason for it, because you lift more weight or do one more rep, that progressive overload, right? And so if you're using the 40 pounds and I've seen guys use the same weight because at this point it slips by them, and they're using the same weight, same reps, same exercise. They're consistent with it, and they've been doing it for like 3 years. Right? Maybe a rep here. You got to challenge yourself for more. And that's where if you're, too concerned about form, well, I can't go up because I can't use perfect form. Well, maybe imperfect form, until your mindset says, I can do that. Your body gets used to it. Before you know it, you're doing 45s, right? With perfect form. Maybe not a straight shot, maybe a little uncomfortable. Before you know it, you're 50, 60 pounds. I've had guys like a 20-pound increase on something, just say 60 pounds, where they're doing 40 pounds just because they finally totally understand the concept of overload. So that's for everybody, no matter how old they are. Overload is really important too, is if you want to get more done in less time. Right. So I hope that answers your question. Good questions, guys. And if you're watching this in the replay version, go ahead and post any questions you have. I'll answer them directly. Maybe it'll be the topic of another live video. Maybe I'll link you to skiplacour.com. Make sure that you're there. All right, guys. All right, so that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Thanks for being here. If you have any questions, you can email me at skip@skiplacour.com. You can reach out and text me, 925-352-4366. I'll put that in the description. And if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, you want to go on a 12-week journey for accountability, I'll learn about these things. I'll help you put together a routine, a sustainable one for your lifestyle. An eating plan, make sense of it. Right? Something sustainable that'll give you results and gains, and to make you accountable for the process and the habits. So after a certain amount of weeks with accountability, with the continual phone calls every week, it'll just become a part of you. You'll understand what to do. You'll understand why you're doing what you do, and you'll have realistic timeframes of when this is all going to happen. So it isn't like you're working hard. Everybody tells you you're looking great. You're making progress. It's just that you think it should happen faster or more dramatically. And, maybe it can, maybe it can't, or maybe you don't know how it works. That ambition is great, but it's not going to happen that way. You just don't know it. It can, if you don't have the right expectations, you can bounce from routine to routine, diet to diet, or quit altogether while you're doing right. You just lack that perspective, right? So you'll know exactly what to do, why you're doing. You'll know why all the different information is presented the way that it is, and maybe it's not as conflicting as you might say. You'll understand the process, and you'll be able to do it for the rest of your life. Then it's just a matter of following through, all right? And that's a good place to be. Hi, Mo. Great to have you here over from YouTube. All right, so that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's live with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.